Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Be the boss of your money. I'm Mitch Goldberg, your host. This whole week, we've been talking about taxes. I know, very dry topic, but it's important because it's tax season. And I find that, hmm, I find that all too many people, I ask them, do they know anything about their taxes? Or they just say, I just give all my stuff to my accountant. He tells me if I owe anything or not. And that's the end of it. People say like they're proud of like, yeah, I just give everything to my accountant and he just tells me if I need to send in money, if I get back money. That's all. That's all I do. Like that is not, in my opinion, something that you should be proud of. I think it would be much better if you could say, I am aware of my tax situation. I am aware of what my tax bracket is or what my effective tax rate is. I am aware of being able to save some money on my taxes because it means more in my pocket. And that's really, isn't that what the show is really about? About you having more money in your pocket? That's what I want to do. Let me just say, potentially having more in your pocket. And when I talk about taxes, I have to tell you, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a tax advisor. Anything we talk about, you should review with your own tax advisor. The worst time, I think, to speak to your accountant about your taxes is during tax season. Your accountant just needs to get as many tax returns as possible. You've got questions. Should you have done this? Should you have done that? Why are you paying this? Why are you getting that back? Or what have you? You don't really know, and you really can't find out anything because you're not talking to me about it. And your accountant is just, they're crazy busy right now. This is their season. So I encourage all of you, starting, give your accountant like a week or two after, but I would say starting in May, you really need to reach out to your accountant and have a sit down and say, I need to go over my tax return. I don't really understand this. Let me tell you something, folks. Taxes is a big part of your life. It's just as big as spending and earning. It's, you need to know about it. And I am really just baffled when somebody says, I just give all my stuff to my accountant and my accountant figures it out. It's not a way to go. While you're watching this, I always appreciate if you give me the thumbs up. Thank you, Jerry. I see you, buddy. And if you have any questions, ask away in the comments. I'd love to answer them. If I can't answer a question in the comments, I will go to the person who can give us the answer. I'm even willing to introduce you to that person if you'd like, so that you could get the better answers for yourself. Maybe you need a new introduction to a new professional. Plug into my network. It's pretty good. It's pretty extensive. I've spent my entire adult life building it, and I'm willing to share it with you. If you have any questions, again, in the comments, your likes, your heart reactions, etc., it all helps spread the word about this show to the rest of your contacts. So I always appreciate that. Let's go on. Now, there's something called a spousal IRA. There are people whose wife is staying home at the moment to take care of kids. Some of you might have 3 young kids at home, and it's not just the wife. Sometimes it's the husband. So I don't want to be like this old-fashioned thing here where the wife stays home. Sometimes it's the husband. Sometimes one spouse is underemployed or only has part-time work. But if you're married and you could swing it, you both could make an IRA contribution. A spouse could make what's called a spousal contribution to a Roth IRA or an IRA. A lot of people don't know that. They think, well, I don't work, so I can't make any kind of retirement plan contribution. But you're recognized as a spouse that you could do that. Now, if you're already maxing out your 401k plan, you can't do this. This is for somebody who is either underemployed, not employed, or someone who works for a company that doesn't offer any kind of retirement plan. In that case, or if you don't participate in the retirement plan, in that case, you could open up a spousal IRA or spousal Roth IRA. And if you already have one, you could make a new contribution. Let me show you what the limits are this year, okay? A lot of you might not be familiar with this. But let's just go over here for a second. If you see this over here, I have this information if you'd like this, if you want to get this from me, all right? But contribution limits for this year, for 2024, it's going up. to $7,000 for an IRA contribution. It was $6,500 for 2023. So if you're now about to make your 2023 IRA or Roth IRA contribution, you can add up to $6,500, contribute $6,500, plus another $1,000 for those who are 50 and over. But for 2024, it's going up to $7,000 plus another $1,000 for those over 50, for a grand total of $8,000. Now, there are limits because life, as we know it, does have limits. And if you want to make a Roth IRA or spousal Roth IRA contribution, you can do that up to your income of $138,000, modified adjusted gross income. Now, if you make more than that, the $6,500 gets reduced of how much you can, of what you can put in. And it gets reduced up until you hit about $150,000 and you're no longer eligible. If you're married, that number, I'm just reading off my notes here, is $218,000. After that, it gets reduced, but once you're $228,000, you can't contribute anything. We're talking about specifically for a Roth IRA. For a traditional IRA, there is no income limit. So if you have the money and one spouse is underemployed, not employed, or works and is not participating in a company retirement plan, this is for you. And, why wouldn't you do it, right? If you have the money, why wouldn't you do this? I think it's a good idea, and I think a lot of people are unaware of it. So that's the thing I wanted to talk about today, because just, we don't really talk about those subjects a lot. That's the big news today. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you want to know more about your tax situation, how you could possibly reduce it, and why I'm pounding the table all the time on Roth IRAs, because when you retire and you have all your money in retirement plans, your 401k, and roll it over to a self-directed rollover IRA, you start taking money out of it and you realize not only are you paying a fortune in taxes, but it makes the cost of everything else go up, like Social Security tax and the provisional income tax for Social Security. You might have to pay more for Medicare. It's just all kinds of things happen. So we need to talk about these things. And I just want to help you get ready for those big days when they come. So give a call, reach out. ClientFirstStrategy.com is where you will find all my contact information. I'm on LinkedIn, Mitchell Goldberg. We're on Facebook, Client First Strategy, YouTube, Client First Strategy. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. Now, we're going to end the show. So thank you very much. Have a lovely night. Speak to you tomorrow.